I'm Angie, and today on the Food Hero Cooking Show, we're talking about beets.
Food Hero is fun. Yeah.
Ace, let's go get our hands washed so we can start.
I have a joke about beets.
Okay, go ahead.
Why did the DJ stop playing his music? Because he ran out of beets.
Rock on. Good one. Okay, so I picked up some beets from one of my favorite local farmers. And beets are one of those foods, I thought when I was a kid I hated them, but as an adult I've grown to love them. And Aislinn, she's thinking beets are pretty cool too. So one of the things I want to talk about, these beets today I have scrubbed very well and washed clean. And another tip, please, when I bought these beets, they had beautiful beet greens on them. Don't throw those away. Go to Food Hero. There's a recipe for sauteed beet greens that's delightful. The other way that I like to prepare the beet greens is the way that you would prepare the crunchy baked kale chips. So go back to that episode of the Food Hero Cooking Show for some tips on that. They won't come out quite as melt in your mouth as the kale chips, but they'll still be delightful, delicious to like put on a sandwich or have as a snack. But right now I want to talk about roasting beets. So in order to roast beets, it's pretty simple. What we're going to do, we're going to slice them up. And of course, we always want to be careful of knife safety. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the tops. Aislinn, I need you to keep your hands back, please. And the bottoms. Okay. And I'll cut off the tops and the bottoms here. And then as I've talked about earlier, we always want to try to get to a flat surface as quickly as possible. And so for these beets, there's a couple ways you can do this. I can cut them in half like this, okay? And Aislinn can slice them down in sticks. Or the other way I do it is because they've already are flat with that, I will just slice them down the side like this, okay? And then when you get down to the very end, you can just take that piece and cut it like this, all right? So Aislinn, I'm going to let you just get those into a little bit smaller pieces. So remember, please keep your fingers tucked back and slice them. And remember, tip down, back and forth. And what we're going to do for these is very simple. It's about a half of a teaspoon of oil per cup. Any oil works fine. Canola oil is what we have here today. Okay, good. Now go ahead and drizzle those over the beets. All right. Now, for these beets, I'm going to roast them, and if I was going to have them more as a savory side dish, I would put salt and pepper on them. But today, we're going to save some of these beets. We're going to reserve some of them to use in a smoothie that we're going to show you today, so I won't salt and pepper them till later. So probably about half of these we can use for future smoothies, and then the other half I'll salt and pepper and use as a nice side dish. Delightful roasted beets. But again, beets are awesome. Their color is really indicative of all of the antioxidants and phytochemicals that are in there. They are a good source of folate. They've got some iron in there. They've got some potassium. So beets are definitely one of those things that you want to include in your diet. And I promise you, when they're roasted, they take on a delightful flavor. There are, even though they're a root vegetable, there are some natural sugars in there, and by roasting those, you bring out some of those natural sugars and caramelize them a bit. So it does make them quite delightful. I promise, I just really want you to give roasted beets a try. So I'm going to pop these in the oven, and then Aislinn and I are going to show you a smoothie that we're going to make from some of the beets that we've already roasted. Okay, we're back. And now I'm going to show you how to make a smoothie. And this is actually called the Unbeatable Berry Smoothie. Get it? Unbeatable. And it's going to be a very lovely pink color. I will tell you that. Beets dye everything pink, don't they, Ace?
Yes, they dye everything.
This is true. This is true. Even some of the byproducts of digestion. Just be aware, if you eat a lot of beets, you're not dying. Just keep that in mind. And I do want to point out, too, the roasted beets that I threw in the oven, that is from the roasted vegetable recipe on foodhero.org. So go to Food Hero for that. I really highly recommend roasting any vegetable. But let's get to it on the smoothie. So our smoothie today is going to have a cup of pineapple juice in it. I'm going to let you throw that in, Aislinn. Okay. And then it's going to have 1.5 cups of berries, any type. You can use fresh or frozen. We're using frozen today because somebody ate all of the strawberries from our garden this morning, so we didn't have any of those left. Who could that be? But frozen is definitely fine. So here for our frozen, in my freezer I had a mix. I had a few strawberries and some blueberries, so we're going to throw those in. 1.5 cups of any type of frozen berry.
Did you need them from our garden?
Count that. That's okay. It was fine for you to eat them. And then we're going to have a cup. Do you want to grab your spatula over there and you can scrape in that cup of vanilla yogurt. And if there's another flavor of yogurt that you like better, you can use that. Coconut yogurt is really good in here. Berry flavors of yogurt are great. Anything that you have on hand. But today we have vanilla yogurt. And then next is going to be our 1/2 cup of beets that we've already roasted. And you can use canned beets too, but I just think roasted have a better flavor. But you're welcome to use canned. If you do use canned, you want to make sure and drain them and rinse them so there's no sodium on them if they're canned in sodium. And then we're going to pop in 1 banana that's been frozen. So we always keep frozen bananas in our freezer because we eat a lot of smoothies. So we're just going to pop that in. And that'll add a nice creaminess. And I think we got everything. So we're going to go blend this up and we'll be right back. All right.
We're back.
So we are back and we have got a smoothie. And look at the color of this unbeatable berry smoothie.
Bright pink.
Yes, they also say, you know, runners, it improves your oxygen uptake with lots of beets. So we might want to make sure we're getting plenty of this for our run tomorrow.
It's yummy because it
Oh,
tastes
look
like
at
a
that,
chocolate smoothie.
Isn't that beautiful? Look at that beautiful color. All right, give her a try. See what you think. All right, so that's it for us. Beautiful, unbeatable berry smoothie. Check out foodhero.org for lots of great recipes on beets. Make sure you check out your local farmer's market. Or make sure you're planting beets in your garden because they are quite delightful. Until next time.
See you next time. Bye.
And a food hero is fun. Yeah, yeah, yeah.